everyone, I'm Paul the Nitro Scovers, and welcome to this edition of the Nitro Corner as WrestleMania week comes to an end. Today's topic this week on the regular edition of the Nitro Corner is who should be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame next year. As we all know, tonight is the Hall of Fame presentation on the USA Network. Make sure you call your local cable company and ask for the time when it'll be on the USA Network. Hope you'll tune in. I will as well. It's going to be a great night as this year's class will be inducted. But what about next year's class? Oh, I've got some names for you. Get ready for a history lesson, and you might want to write this down. Number one, of course, is the Macho Man Randy Savage. Who has been more influential than the Macho Man Randy Savage? A man that has held the Intercontinental title, the World Heavyweight title, was the king of the World Wrestling Federation. He was the WCW champion. He was certainly, without a doubt, one of the most colorful and more flamboyant type of athletes, but he was also one of the most skilled and most aerial type of wrestlers you'll ever see in this business. The late, great Macho Man Randy Savage should be in the Hall of Fame. Another person, of course, is Miss Elizabeth. Hello, she managed the Macho Man Randy Savage and all those titles. She was the first lady of the WWE, and she's not inducted into the Hall of Fame? Come on now, you inducted Sonny. Why don't you induct Miss Elizabeth, the first lady of the WWE, into the Hall of Fame? How about the living legend, a man that has headlined Madison Square Garden 211 times. I know this guy will probably refuse it because of his animosity towards Vince McMahon, but I believe Bruno Sammartino should also be inducted into the Hall of Fame. As I mentioned, the man headlined Madison Square Garden 211 times. He headlined the Philadelphia Spectrum over 200 times as well. He headlined most of the East Coast and was a main attraction star throughout the East Coast from the 1960s throughout 1981. He also was very successful in Canada, in Indianapolis for Dick the Bruiser. He was very popular in the country of Japan. He certainly was a true world champion both in and outside of the ring. And the list of who's who he's beaten, come on now, George the Animal Steele, Gorilla Monsoon, first man to slam 601-pound Haystacks Calhoun in Boston at the Boston Garden. The Mormon Giant, Don Leo Jonathan, he beat him. He went to a draw with Giant Baba. That enough alone. Of course, with his fuse with Stan Hansen, he came back from a broken neck. A broken neck to beat Stan Hansen. His feud with Larry Zbyszko. Folks, come on now. Bruno should be inducted into the Hall of Fame. How about the Mormon Giant, Don Leo Jonathan, a man that took Andre the Giant to the limit in the early 70s in Canada. Multiple-time Canadian heavyweight champion. Speaking of Canadian heavyweight champions, how about Big Nasty, King Kong Angelo Mosca, multiple-time holder of the Canadian heavyweight championship. Longtime football star in the CFL in Canada. He was also a former Florida heavyweight champion. He certainly earned the name Big Nasty. How about Dino Bravo, multiple-time holder of the IWA and the Canadian Heavyweight Championship. And in the World Wrestling Federation, he was the world's strongest man until Mark Henry took that title. But Dino Bravo was the original world's strongest man. Hell, he lifted 605 pounds at the Royal Rumble in the bench press challenge. Jesse Ventura was there. He saw it too. How about if you're going to induct Johnny Rodz into the Hall of Fame, how about the Mokey brothers? Bill and Randy Mokey. Mokey Mania. That's the stuff dreams are made of, kids. Mokey Mania was the excitement back in 1987 on TBS. How about George South? All the undercard people, the good ones, like George South. How about the Italian Stallion? How about Jose Luis Rivera? How about Barry Horowitz? Barry Horowitz. He wrestled as Jack Hart in Florida and was 0-32 before he got his first win. And of course he defeated Skip on TV to start his little rise and eventually beat Skip at SummerSlam 95. Barry Horowitz. Come on, people. How about the Duke of Dorchester, Pete Doherty? Might as well induct him too into the Hall of Fame. How about how about Japan? How about Tiger Mask? How about he getting in the Hall of Fame? The British Bulldog, one of the most pure acrobatic teams in professional wrestling. How about the Fantastics? Tommy Rogers and Bobby Fuller. Since you want to take all the territories and show their footage, you might as well induct them into the Hall of Fame too. How about the Rock and Roll Express? How about the Fabulous Ones? How about Austin Idol, Bill Dundee, Dutch Mantel? I could go on, but those are some of the names I believe should be considered for the WWE Hall of Fame for next year. And as I mentioned, and hold on just a second, tonight is the Hall of Fame for this year's class, and so I raise my Coke can as a tribute and salute and a warm greeting and congratulations to this year's class into the WWE Hall of Fame. Here's to you, fellas. Well, that's it for this edition of the Nitro Corner, and that ends WrestleMania week. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I have. Don't forget WrestleMania tomorrow night on pay-per-view. Call your local cable company for availability. Until next week, I'm Paul the Nitro Scour saying, so long, everybody.